Welcome to another edition of Raw Sports, lifelong natural sport bodybuilding. We'll talk a little bit about training routines. It's so important that before you come into any type of facility where you're going to do exercise, that you in your mind already know what you're going to exercise. In other words, if you're going to do legs, you already can know that you're going to go in, you're going to do barbell squats for maybe 3-4 sets. You're going to do a leg press, you're going to do leg extensions, leg press for another 3-4 sets, leg extensions for maybe 3 sets as well. And in your mind, you've already kind of completed that training, that you've already done the exercise in your head already before you get to the gym. And it's so important because you can actually, in a way, kind of get lost in the gym. And you go and do one exercise and do another exercise, and actually you're not being as effective as if you already have a kind of a regiment in terms of how you're going to progress with making increases of muscle size, becoming stronger, bigger, leaner, etc. So have that regiment already in your head, but see yourself as completing that exercise in terms of the actual routine, finishing. And so in your thinking that you've already kind of gone through that routine and completed those exercises. And there's a point when you're trying to do the exercise, and sometimes you go into the gym and you really just don't feel like doing that routine. Try and push through, because often at those times when you push through, that becomes one of the greatest kind of sessions that you had. Important thing that I always teach people is to kind of like take a resting, measure your pulse rate. First thing when you wake up, measure your pulse rate. And the only way you can kind of figure out if you kind of like overtraining is if your pulse rate is higher than normal. And measure your pulse each morning. And when you do that, kind of dot it down in your diary and say, well, my pulse is like 65 or 70. And have a kind of a weekly thing where you kind of keep measuring your pulse rate. And if your pulse for any reason at a certain day or something suddenly is 80 or beyond that, it means that you're actually overtraining. Sometimes you can be overtrained but not actually feel any symptoms. In other words, you don't feel tired, you can still keep pushing, etc. Listen to what your body's telling you as well. And sometimes you can go into the gym and you kind of think, well, I'm going to go and do this routine. Don't always have a total pre-planned routine as well. Try and have an additional kind of thinking of, if I'm not going to do that routine today, I've got another kind of a routine that I'm going to follow through and do that routine as well. So in other words, if you're going in and you're going to do legs, but for some reason you just don't feel like you have the strength, or you're feeling really tired, in your mind you should already have another routine where I'm going to go and do abs, lower back, strengthen my core, and calves, for instance. So always have some other routine kind of to kind of like balance, and so that you don't stagnate and you keep progressing. If you keep pushing forwards, no matter how small the increments are, your muscles will grow, you'll become bigger, you'll become stronger, you'll become leaner, and you'll become much healthier. Raw sports. Lifelong natural sport bodybuilding.